Good morning, Antonio. Thanks for your time today. Out Outside an unbeaten season, do you feel like everything is in play for this team and this season going forward?
Um, yeah. We still have an opportunity to play. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. We still have opportunities to play. We still have opportunities to go out there and execute. So yeah, it's never yeah, I think so.
Donnie Collins.
Hey, Antonio, what did last week's game teach you guys about this defense? What you guys do well and where you guys need to get better?
Um, to be honest with you, not really focusing on last week. We watched the film, we made the corrections. We Coach Pride and our position coaches coached us up on what needs to happen in order for us to be successful. But as far as last week, not really focusing on last week anymore. We play Ohio State and today's Monday, so we're like 6 days, and that's the only thing that we're looking forward to.
Tyler Donahue.
Antonio, it's been a long time since you guys had game film to watch of yourselves. How would you describe the last 36, 48 hours of being able to kind of assess where you are as a 2020 team and waiting so long to get on the field? How anxious are you to just get another chance to maybe make those corrections and go out and show that you're a better team than what was displayed last Saturday?
It was definitely nice to, play football again, against, an opponent and not, just your teammates. But yeah, it was cool. It was nice to, see that, the off season training and everything that everybody did and all the off season studies and everybody's individual improvement and people's improvement, as on our units, offense, defense, special teams. Seeing those was definitely nice, and um, just got a couple things to clean up here and there, and you know, we made those corrections already. All we got to do is just keep looking forward.
Joe Giuliano.
Good morning, Antonio. What does the Penn State-Ohio State rivalry mean to you?
First of all, it's not a rivalry. We're not Michigan. I think that people are trying to make this something I don't want to say bigger than what it is, because we're a good team, they're a good team as well. So I can understand how people would try to make it something like that. And by me saying that it's not a rivalry, that's not me downplaying our opponent or disrespecting Ohio State in any sort of way, because I'm not the type of person to downplay my opponent. That's not smart. But I don't necessarily think that this is a rivalry. I think that this is two good football teams who are playing each other. Then that's it. They have great players. We have great players. But there's great coaches on both sides. Both programs are very historic, very storied programs. So I just think it's just two great football teams who get to play each other on Saturday.
Dan Hope.
Hey, Antonio, just wanted to ask you about Ohio State's offense. What are the biggest challenges that you see in watching them?
They're very well coached. They have playmakers all over the place. Obviously everybody knows the capabilities that Justin has, the things he can do with the ball, as well what he can do with his legs. They always have very good wide receivers. And just the position that impacts me the most, our offensive line. They're a very experienced group, a very old group. They're very well coached in what they do. They have very good techniques. It's it Yeah, they're a very well put together offense. They don't make too many mistakes, so it should definitely it should definitely be fun to prepare to play them and to play them on Saturday.
Mark Brennan.
Antonio, going back to Joe's question, okay, so they say it's not a rivalry, but as a guy from Westerville, what does it mean for you personally to play in this game? Because I'm sure you know a lot about that program when you were growing up.
I mean, yeah, I'm from Columbus, and that's fine. But I'm not. What I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna make this game about me. I'm not the only guy from Columbus on the team or the only guy from Ohio on the team, so I don't ever want to make this about me. I mean, it's fine. It's like, I mean, it's really not that deep to me. I'm just this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at Penn State. This is where God put me. This is where I was supposed to be. So, I mean, is it? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just. It's not. It doesn't. I don't have any personal vendetta or personal anger towards anybody at that university. My best friend plays on that team, so it's like I don't. It's just yeah. I don't get into personal things like that. The last time I made that mistake, I didn't really like the result of things. So. It's a football game. We're gonna treat it like I'm gonna treat it how I treat every other football game. I'm gonna prepare to the best of my ability, play within the framework of the defense that Coach Pry and our defensive staff draw up, and that's it.
Benjamin Ferry.
Hi, Antonio. Thanks for doing this. You're just one of the few guys, left in the program who was on the team in 2016. So what do you kind of remember from that night against Ohio State? And then what are you most looking forward to about playing in Beaver Stadium again?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I know everybody likes to talk about that 2016 game because of how big it was for the program, and we've been ranked every week since that game. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of talking about it, or like I'm not like coming at you for bringing it up, but I think I'm not too big on like dwelling on the past, I guess. So I mean, I understand what it did for this program. I was here. I saw the change in, the program, like literally like before my eyes. But I mean, it's just like, okay, yes, that happened. Now what? And just like nobody ever talks about any of the other games that were won in that 2016 season, or in the 2017 season, or the 18 season, or last season. So it's just like I just don't. I'm just not a fan of pinpointing that exact game. But as far as playing Beaver Stadium again, it's definitely going to be a great experience. Beaver Stadium is a very special place to all of us. To me specifically, to everybody that plays here, everybody who's ever came to a game, anybody who's a Penn State fan around the world, alumni, anything. It's a special place. It's home, so you feel a little different when you play at home. It's just how anybody feels when they play home. But yeah, it should be it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Frank Bodani.
Antonio, give me a couple of reasons why you guys will look better this weekend than you did in your opener with a lot of the mistakes that happened then. What's your confidence on correcting those? And what's your view on how you will be a better team exactly this Saturday?
I mean, the corrections have already been made. We know what we have to do. The coaches are breaking down the film. They're going to tell us what we have to do, and all we have to do is go out there, play within the framework, and trust what our coaches say. Can't be just can't make little mistakes that were made. I'm not going to sit here and throw anybody under the bus. I'm not going to do anything like that. It's just the little mistakes on all three phases of the game. We just got to play a complete game, and play the way that we're capable of playing, and up to our standard. And I think everything will work out.
Tobias Wilborn.
Well, what is it that makes a guy like Joey Porter Jr. so special from your perspective?
It's a good one. I think first of all, I think Joey took advantage of the opportunity that was in front of him. He did. I think I can't remember if he redshirted last year. I think he did, but to take yourself from no reps or minimum reps to now being a starter in a year is in an off season is very, very, very difficult to do. So I think that's first and foremost. I think Joey, that the fact that he took advantage of that opportunity, it ran with it, really shows his maturation within the program, and I think that's a credit to Coach Smith and the older corners and the older defensive backs, really showing him how to get it done. As we know, Joey comes from a football family. His dad is a extremely well-respected coach and player with the Steelers. So I think it's a combination of Joey. His maturity is growing, as well as his skill set on the field. He's longer. He's got long legs, long arms. He's fast. And, he's more comfortable in the defense now. So, he's out there making plays. He's not afraid to make a play. He's not afraid to, if it's going between the PBU and the interception, he's not afraid of, going for the interception and possibly, what I'm saying? He's willing to take that risk. So, yeah, I think Joey's I think the future is very bright for Joey.
John Petishmark.
Hey, good morning, Antonio. Appreciate the time. Hey, you talked about putting last week behind you. As one of the leaders on the defense, what's your message this week to some of the younger guys to also make sure that they're focused on both Ohio State and also letting them know that all of the team goals are still in play for this season?
I mean, we all already had that discussion. We had that discussion in the locker room as soon as the game was over. I'm like, look, we're gonna watch the film. We're gonna correct mistakes. And then that's it. If you sit here and dwell on mistakes that you made, you're never gonna grow from it. So I think we have a great group of young guys who just know, and the best thing I can do is just lead by example, and just have my complete focus on Ohio State right now.
Rich Scarcella.
Antonio, can you describe the challenges of defending Justin Fields? And secondly, what do you think Jason Oweh is capable
of? Challenges of defending a quarterback like Justin is the fact that he's a mobile quarterback. So, that affects how you pass rush. You have to be very disciplined in your rush lanes. You can't give him an opportunity to get out of the pocket or step up because, once Justin gets going, he can make plays happen. He can extend plays. So, when we get close, when you're close to making a play, you have to make it. You got to get him on the ground. He's a great player. He's a great player. It's all compliments to him. But like I said, you gotta be disciplined in your rush lanes. They can, that design quarterback runs for him. Just from watching the film last week, he's not going down on first contact. He's definitely grown as a player. In that regard, I would say, he's staying up through contact. He's strong. So we have to be very disciplined in our fundamentals. And as far as Jason goes, man, Jason is gonna go as he wants to go. The sky is the limit for Jason Oweh, and I've said this for a long time. Like it's very easy. It's very easy and it's very fun playing with two defensive ends on either side of you that can get the job done and are elite level run defenders and pass rushers. So, it's very fun to go out there and play with Jason and Shaka, and PJ and whoever else is out there on the field with us. So I think, the sky's the limit for Jason.
Nate Bauer.
Hey, sorry to go back to Indiana one more time, but Adisa's sack that he got hit with the face mask penalty, is there anything he could have or should have done differently on that play?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even. I mean, it was a great rush. He got there, so I don't really know.
Joe Giuliano.
Antonio, this was your first game under your new defensive line coach, Coach Scott. I wondered what the differences were as far as the substituting with Coach Scott as opposed to how Coach Spencer used to do it.
Well, throughout the first half, we only had 22 snaps total of defense. We only had 22 defensive snaps, I believe. So, we were a little bit more well rested, like a little bit more rested. I would say, I don't know. I don't really know. I trust Coach Scott's decision making with whatever he wants to do. I know towards the end of the game, we had our better pass rushers in the game. Hakeem Beamon came in, who is very explosive. I'm very excited to see Keem's growth. But I trust Coach Scott's decision making. Compared it to how Spence operated, I'm not really entirely sure yet. It was only one experience, so I think throughout the season I'll have a better idea.
Partha Paye.
Hey, what's up, Antonio? Appreciate you doing this. Just going back to Jason Oweh, I know I saw somewhere that Jason and Shaka had two of the highest pass rush win percentages in the country, last week. How encouraging of a sign is that for you to see your unit go out and do that despite the loss?
Well, I mean, it's the standard. It's the standard of what the expectation is. It always starts up front. That's just the base rule of football. It starts with the O-line and the D-line. So, I think what people are now seeing is the result of extreme hard work that Shock and Jason have put in, and we all put in. But since we're talking about them, that Shock and Jason have put in throughout the offseason, working with Coach Scott and Coach Deion Barnes. Deion bringing a certain level of expertise, coming from the NFL, Coach Scott coming from the NFL as well. I think it's the little things that are being tweaked on. So it's definitely, it didn't shock me at all that they went out there and had, a great performance, because I see it every day in practice. I see how they practice. I know what they do. I know what they can do. We all know what they can do. So, that's just kind of, what we expect. That's what our defense expects. That's what our team expects. It's what we expect from ourselves and each other.
Peter Terpstra.
Antonio, you kind of have a role of, keeping you guys pumped up and whatnot. Without fans in the stands, is it harder to kind of keep everyone positive when things go wrong in a game? And then secondly, what are you going to miss about like a traditional whiteout game experience with a packed house coming up on Saturday?
It's not necessarily harder to keep people involved or positive or anything like that, because we can still hear each other. To be honest with you, you don't. I mean, like you know that the crowd is there, but to a certain extent, you're so locked in that you kind of just drown it out a little bit, I guess. So, but as far as the whiteout, like not having the traditional whiteout, it's always an experience every time, running out with all the fireworks and all that. Over 100,000 people in the stadium. It's cool. It's just a cool thing. But Coach Franklin said that now this is back to like the purest form of the game. And I don't want to say that not having fans doesn't make a difference, but it makes a little bit of a difference. But it's you're really just so locked in on the game that you don't really notice it. And that's not saying that our fans being in the stands isn't important, or our fans don't bring juice or anything like that. I'm not downplaying nobody, but you kind of just you just really focus on the game, what you have to do.
All right, this will be the last question. Tyler Donahue.
Antonio, you mentioned earlier Joey Porter making the jump from limited experience to the starting lineup. Akeem Beamon didn't get to the starting lineup, but we saw him quite a bit on the field Saturday after redshirting last year. What do you think he did over the course of these last 10 months or so to put himself in that position to claim a role in the two deep and then go out and earn that kind of playing time in the season opener? He's
taken the coaching that Coach Scott has given him, and Coach Dion has given him very, very well. He's been consistent. He's been much more consistent. He's growing as a player. He's doing his job within the framework of the defense, and the coaches, they're developing trust for him. They know that Keem is going to be where he needs to be. He's going to do his job. He's very explosive. He has great hand placement. He's fast, and he's fast with the ball. He's disruptive. I think that's what Keem has done. I think he's really focused in on what he has to do, and he's taking the coaching that he's getting in the instruction very, very well.